Hello everyone, welcome to Scarecrow Miniature Painting. I'm Steven. Um, it's actually funny, I had filmed a first part to this video, um, but it had been corrupted in my phone somehow. So let's go over what we're going to be doing today. Today we're going to be doing object source lighting and highlighting on these two tiefling warlocks we had primed and based beforehand. Um, so a little bit of background on how we're going to do this. So we're going to do the translucent lighting on that with object source lighting going on it. Now, the object source lighting we will do at the very end of it, because we want to make sure everything is going how we want it to. Then we have this guy who we're going to do most of the highlighting on him with that. His face, his hair, everything like that. We're going to try to make it look as normal and as detailed as possible. So I know I promised that we would do the vampires that we have here on a live stream. So in order for us to do that, we do need 50 followers. It might have been 500 followers, but it might only need to be 50. So what I'm asking of you guys that are subscribed and are following the channel is spread the word, send them over to my Facebook page, Scarecrow Miniatures, on Facebook. This way that we can get more and more people knowledgeable of what our channel is about and how we can grow as a community as well. So with that being said, we're going to start with this translucent bit. We're going to do it similarly to how we did our last translucent bit with the death avatar. So the only difference with how the death avatar turned out and how we're going to do this is we're still going to use a wash. We're just going to do it slightly different. We are going to actually highlight it. Now, you might be thinking, why are we highlighting a wash? That doesn't make any sense. And you're right, that really does not make any sense. However, once you look into it and realize that with a wash, I just got alien paint on my finger. With a wash, since we're doing the translucent, that will actually help lean closer into the object source lighting. So first I'm just going to brush this darker purple onto it. As I was saying in the video that was corrupted, if you have a figure like this where you have translucent detail that is right on top of a figure, it does make it harder to actually hit the translucent plastic. However, it's not impossible, it just gives you a little bit more stuff to work with. So what I always recommend doing is, if you are commissioning an artist to print your miniatures, to have them see if they can't magnetize the translucent portion. This way you don't get nothing on the actual miniature itself. And this way everything goes where it is. Now, the reason we're doing more of a wash on this, and that's why I'm glad we are, is because even with this dark purple and us priming it in black, it's really not going to show up much on there. So that's what we got going so far. Now, that alone would be good. But as we always say here on Scarecrow Miniature Painting, always do a second coat. This translucent bit is going to look a little bit more opaque, and there's a reason for that. Because we are going to do, one, the object source lighting, and two, we are going to be doing highlighting. So you might be wondering, well, how are you going to highlight something that is light? Well, if you look at a fire, the brightest portions are at the very bottom, and slowly gets darker the further away. That's why when you look at a flame, the red is at the very top and white is on the bottom. So really I should have done that the other way around, but since this is magic, we're going to do this a little bit differently. But I can also do it like this, where I can just touch the base of the miniature to a certain point where I don't want that dark purple showing up. But we can always paint over that dark purple as well. So we're going to do a thin line on this of just pure white. Now you might be wondering, why are we doing a thin line of pure white? Well, that's because, like I said, on a flame, the very bottom is the brightest point. And I want the brightest point of this to be almost like a highlight. So it's going to be a little bit opaque on the very bottom. Like that. Not sure if you can see it with the gray underneath. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to take a little bit of our black, got a little bit of white on his shoe. I'm just going to cover that up real quick. So now we're going to move on to Orc Blood. That's our next darkest color. We're going to pour some... Actually, let me check this. Because Orc Blood's a little weird. Where did I put that Orc Blood? Purple. Orc Blood right here. We're going to shake this up a little bit more. And honestly, I think transitioning into oozing purple into the Orc Blood might be the better option. So we're going to put that there. We are going to mix this up a little bit. So we're going to take a little bit of it. We're going to mix it in with that alien purple to get a medium of the two. And then we're just going to, that's a little bit, there we go, okay. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of a little bit of a wash rather than opaqueness. We're going to take that all the way down to that white, and we're going to pull it from the white. So we purposely made the white there so we could get a natural highlight going on that. Like I said, this translucent will be a little bit more opaque than the prior one. And that's fine because we're showing highlighting, we're showing how to do different techniques. And we're just going to pull it up to, I would say, about right there, right where that last little curve goes up to. And in fact, we might actually change that because the source is where the opaqueness should be coming from, which is his hand. So we're going to actually do that the other way. So as you can see, we put a little bit of a bright white highlight there. I'm going to put more of it on there so it looks like it's coming out of that hand. So you want your lightest highlight going on there. Now, the weird thing with this orc blood is it's not an effect paint, however it looks and acts like an effect paint. It's harder to mix. I think we just got it down right. So we're just going to put a little dollop there. We're going to put drop there, drop there. We're going to take our paintbrush, we're going to mix that up, we're going to pull some of that away, and then we're going to pull that into it to make that medium right there. Now you'll see me using my mouth as kind of a cleaner. You can use your mouth, you can use pretty much whatever you want. They actually make paint cleaners. I just do not have any. So this is also going to help with our object source lighting when we do move on to that as well. So we're going to take some of this Warlock, we're going to mix that together, take some of that, move it up there, take some of you, move it up there, mix you two together, take a little bit more of you. It's a good transition into it. Now we're going to take some of this white, we're going to move it over here, take some of you, and we're going to mix you up into our brightest highlight. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where we want to make sure we can get as bright as possible. So we're going to pull, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 different segments. We're going to pull this to. this is a little bit more opaque than I would have even liked, so I'm going to pull some of it off. I'm just going to paint it around, hoping that it sticks to some. But that's what we got going on so far with that. Like I said, we're going to make it to where this is sort of segmented off. Now, what I'm doing here is what's called wet blending. So I'm taking a wet paint and I'm blending my next brightest or my next darkest highlight. You can even use the next brightest. This is more of a reverse highlighting anyway. You would take your next lightest, when you do a highlighting, you would take your next lightest naturally and pull it down. But since we're doing kind of a reverse highlight, that's what we're going to do. And I have decided I'm going to try keeping videos to about half an hour, so we got about another 15-20 minutes. And this one, it's going to take a few different videos just because of the amount of work it's going to take into it. But so far, I am loving the effect that we have gotten from this. It still looks translucent at some points, but it looks more opaque the closer you get to the top. So this is that, what we just put on there was that orc blood, and orc blood, where is it? Not alien purple, orc blood and oozing purple mixture. That's what we're putting on now. So we're still wet blending it in. And now we're moving up. Well, no, what we just did was orc blood. Pure orc blood. Now what we're doing is the mixture of orc blood and oozing purple. And now we're going to go into pure oozing purple. And now we're going to go into alien purple and oozing purple mixture. We're still trying to hit everything with in the realm with that wet blending. And now if we can, we're going to go straight into pure alien purple for the very bottom. And there you have it. So, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of white. And I'm just going to do anything that is projecting out where I want a natural highlight to be. I am putting a little dot there to kind of give a the effect that it is glimmering. I'm trying to match up where that was, but you can also just take like where it was to begin with and just go over it lightly, because then it will just stick to that. Now with that one, I don't want to do that color. It'll kind of glaze over it and leave a more natural looking highlight on it, like so. It's kind of harder to see on that, but let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. So as you can see, we got those white specks. Those are going to be our highlights, and it still looks transparent in some regard, but it's got more of a natural phenomenon, magic-esque glow to it. We are at the 20-minute mark. I am going to turn this video off, and we will begin the next video on these figures with, I'm leaning towards painting this guy's coat, weapon, and skin tone. And with that being said, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day.